Hi everyone, welcome back for today's session. Hope you are doing well. So myself, Rajeshwari, I am dealing grid and cloud computing. Today our topic is the practical view of OGSA and OGSA. Means till now we learn what motivates us to OGSA, right? But now we have to learn how the OGSA can helpful to us to provide the service in big grids and clouds. The practical means in this we are going to give a lot of architectures, components, okay, their functionalities. It's a little bit big video, but we will manage. Okay. So OGSA practical view. We know about this OGSA. It's open source given by GGF. What is GGF? Global Grid Forum, which is the standard with collaborative work. They are going to define what is the service the customer required, how they are going to provide, what are security policies, norms, etc. Everything is going to be given by GGF. Okay, so it is nothing but the framework. It is nothing but the framework. The framework is nothing but which gives a lot of services at one with one tool, I can say. It is going to give resource allocation, services, infrastructure, data collaboration, okay, network connectivity, everything it is going to provide. So we have to say it is called as a framework. And finally, okay, so this can be useful for a lot of applications in terms of commercial and the private also. There is no doubt. What are the basic features of this OGS? Okay, so we know about this, but one more time we have to make a division because we have to learn this concept, right? So it is a distributed manner which contains heterogeneous systems. It is going to have to provide quality of service with the service level agreements. Next step. So the sum of the services is going to provide is security, means authorization, access control and delegation. And finally, so it is going to provide the autonomic management. What is autonomic management? Without our involvement in management in terms of data, resources, security, any fault problems, the system have to invoke itself, have to find out any problem is there. Later it have to provide the solution to the problem. Okay, if that is case, it is called autonomic management. Next, so it is a self-regulation and autonomic management. Next, it is open distributed public interfaces and protocols. Lot of protocols we have discussed in last class. Okay, and one more, it is going to provide the document. Every framework have to provide the document to the as a reference manual to the customer, so that he can get the services known to him. Okay, OGSA framework. Okay, so in this we have two technologies it is going to provide. One is the Globus toolkit, one is web services. We know about the Globus toolkit, we learn about this. Next one is the web services. Web service is the internet connectivity and it is a Globus toolkit. So what are the main functionalities of any toolkit in terms of grid? It is going to provide the creation, termination, management, invocation, okay, with stateless or stateful information, etc. etc. Next, so by which we can get the physical environment connectivity, security, infrastructure to store your data, to get the data, profile resource provisioning, virtual domains and execution environments. A lot of you are going to get Globus toolkit. Yes. So in the last videos I given introduction regarding the Globus toolkit. So today we will learn the architecture. Okay. So Globus toolkit is developed in 2005 by Globus Alliance. Okay, with the collaboration of DARPANET. Okay. The role of a Globus toolkit. It gives us solutions to a lot of problems. We know about this. With supports heterogeneity of collection of data. Systems also hardware, portability issues, standards. So it is not a single one, it's a collection of standards. We know about this. Okay, so GGF, W3C, so etc. standards are collaborated to get the services in terms of standards to view. Layers in the grid. So this is the main diagram from which we are going to divide our service. Okay, so here we are user applications. Okay, we have some tools and applications to interact with the grid services. Later we have some collective services, means the grid service or any GGF or any Globus toolkit or anything is going to provide some services to us in terms of directory, brokering, diagnosis, monitoring. Later we have to get to services. Why they are going to provide the service to place, to interact our data, right? Interaction between us and system is going to maintain by collective services, but for what? It is nothing but the resource connectivity protocols. So resource and connectivity protocols to provide the resource and to connect us to the system, right? And finally fabrication, changes if you need any. So at the low level, if you need any changes, it will be taken care of by Fabric in terms of computer, storage, media, networks and sensors. So it contains, the layers in the grid contains 4 layers. One is applications, means which are helpful to us. It is a one which gives a collection of services to satisfy the customer. How to manage these resources and connectivity, and finally fabrication is door level devices. Okay, the Globus toolkit collection of components. What are those collection of components are required? Which in the services, clients, libraries, development tools. We know about this SDK. Okay, SDK, that is a Java concepts. Finally, how to transfer, how to extend our service to broad areas, along with the in terms of condition maintenance also, that is protocols. Okay, Globus toolkit domain areas on which it is going to give stress to us. Stress to give better service to us. Those are core services in terms of infrastructure, how to maintain security services to secure our data, how to manage our execution, how to manage your data, and how to monitor your data. Okay, so these are all the domain areas on which our Globus toolkit is going to concentrate. One is how to core services, tools. One is the security, one is execution, one is the data management, and finally monitoring. 5 we have. Protocols. So hope you remember this protocol: WSL, Web Service Description Language, Service Access, Simple Object Access Point, WS Addressing, Reference Protocol, Security Network. Okay, so these are all the protocols is going to provide by the web services. Okay, non-web services means whenever there is no need to give any restriction, means there is no restriction means automatically we are not in a distributed system. Whenever automatically we are not distributed system means we have to can use grid FTP or custom, means depends upon your requirement you can use a cluster. Okay, now it is a GT version 2 so they give additional points in the GT3, they give additional points in the GT4 also. So these are all the 4 services they are going to provide. One is the security, one is the data management, one is the execution management, one is the information services, next one is the common runtime. It will give all the platforms of in terms of languages, it will give monitoring, it will give an execution environment, it will give the local file system along with the data management, it will give the security, right? So it is a Globus toolkit. So they given some modifications in Globus toolkit 3. Our main toolkit is GT4, that is Globus toolkit version 4. It is our. If you observe here, we have 5 types of services. One is a C. So C, Java, common libraries, Python. These are all the services they are going to provide in terms of libraries to communicate for in terms of interface also. Here information services. What is the index we have? What is the trigger we have? What is the monitoring possibility is there? Okay, execution. How we are going to execute in terms of schedule, in terms of framework, in terms of management. Okay. Next, how data going to manage? What is the maintenance of the data? Sending, receiving, storing, accessing, securing, etc. Replication, etc. etc. How security? Authorization, authentication, pre-web authentication, credential management. So this is the final GT4 we got. See, if you observe, all these services going to divide in terms of 2 parts. One is web services, one is non-web services. Okay, here the web services where internet connectivity is going to be there and we get a better service. These are all called the non-web services. So interfaces, we learn about this. What is an interface? See, if you are going to request to the service, for example, postal service is there. How they are going to provide a postal service to you? They have some office, they have some management. They have some protocols to follow. They have some presentation way. They have some data gathering presentation. So like this, every postal service is going to maintain some gathering and presentation of the data. Here also, if you want to store your data, automatically we have to provide some interfaces, right? So interfaces, for example, in the college, what are the interfaces we have? One is a presentation, that is a lecture. One is evaluation, that is examining you. One is a presentation by you, and one is a moral support. Okay, following some ethics. One is activities, whatever knowledge we have, you should project. So we use to do a lot of interfaces with you so that you will get bright future, right? Here also we have some 5 to 6 levels of interfaces. One is a discovery of your service. One is a dynamic creation. Whenever you are going to request for the service, you used to get lifetime management of the service, notification if there is any new or if there is any problem with that, and manageability. Right. So next, what are the interfaces? How we want to read? Everything is going to run in terms of a code only, right? So this is XML language in terms by using the web service description language. We have to give the namespace. What is the name you want to define for you? Types of any services. The schema is whatever you want to write. The schema means the design. What is the name of the service? Next for input and output. Next the types. How you are going to communicate. What is the message you have? Input message. If you want to include any parameters, there like this. Output message you have. It is input and output. Any parameters to output also. The protocol porting type. Port type means depends upon your application. For example, I want to use a file transfer protocol. I want to log in remote system, that is a telnet. Like this, what is the interface you want to use in terms of protocol? What operation you want to perform? What is the text you want to do? And if you want to place, okay, what is the operation you want to perform? Port type, etc. So these are all interfaces you can write in either in Java, C language, Python. There is no restriction at all. Okay, so these are all the port types now. So it is going to provide some port types, means if you want to get the grid service, or if you want to notification source, if you want to notify to source, to notify to sync, that is the destination. If you want to register for any service, if you want to create a new service, or if you want to handle map the path wherever you want to get the service. Okay, you want to specify that what is my port. I want to get the service, or I want to notify my source, or I want to notify to destination. I want to register. I want to create new factory, or you want to handle the map path. Okay, so grid service handle. So it is the one which have some unique name globally, so that it's going to maintain this service to anybody. Okay, so this is a grid service handle which contains it doesn't contains any protocols or instances, but there is existences for our service. Okay, grid service migration. It is nothing but which is going to provide data moving. Okay, we have to find out the addresses. Later we have to get the data based upon that. Okay, and finally, okay, nothing more, that is migration only. OGS is security model. Security models means they are going to use public infrastructure hierarchical methodology from higher level to regional level to local level, with authenticated by certificate authority. With that only we will have a public key which can be identified for us as a unique identity by which everybody can able to communicate with us. Okay. Yeah. So this is one of the architecture for the security OJS security model implemented in various production levels. So in terms of policy, in terms of bindings, in terms of intrusion detection, antivirus, policy management, user management, key management. Wherever not, everything is going to maintain the security to us. Okay, so secure conversation, we have to they are going to maintain credentials, importance, access control, and audit and non-repudiation. Okay, what is a non-repudiation? If any person claim that I am not the person who used your resources, we should be in a position to prove that yes, it is a person, he used my resources or he steals my resources. If he genuinely, if he is the right person, it means he is only the person who stole our data. If you are confident, then you can claim the non-repudiation concept. Okay, so now it is a time to us to get the detailed architecture of this OJSA, which contain 4 layers. Normally we have any architecture, we used to call 3-tier, 4-tier, 5-tier. It is a 4-tier architecture. So at the bottom level we used to get some physical and logical resources, that is hardware devices, OS, etc. Later we are going to start with the web services, means we are going to be internet connectivity. There we are going to maintain some OGS, that is infrastructure, which is sub-layer of web service layer. Later we are going to get some grid service. There we are going to participate in the grid to get the service. Finally application, above we are going to be. Okay. See the diagram in a keen manner. These are all the application. The user will be here. Okay, OGSA will give some architecture services to us to access the service provided by all this. Later, the infrastructure gives the what is the security, and one more is how much data you have to access. All this can be done by infrastructure. So it is which is a part of this web services layer. Without web services, we can't able to communicate reach here. Okay, so web services only gives the connectivity to the grid for us. Okay, here see lastly we have the server storage network. But what the web services is going to maintain? How the web service is going to maintain means in terms of different functions. If you able to see here, the security, workflow, database management, file systems, directory, messaging. If you want to message, if you want to maintain a directory for your system, the file system maintenance, the database, whatever you have, workflow, security. So these are all the services given by web services. These are all the works given in web services along with the cooperation of OGSA, that is Open Grid Service Infrastructure. Okay. Now one by one we will deal fastly. So physical resources, we know server, storage, network. Logical resource means which can able to manage, that is operating system, virtual machine, etc. So in terms of logical, what the example is? Data managers, workflow managers, etc. OS is only their programs. Web service layer. Okay, so it's a very important one. Web service is software available online that could interact with other software using XML language only. Okay, so which is cooperated with the OGS, Open Grid Services Infrastructure, which starts our grid service. Okay, so also extends open service capability, web service capability. It consists of 5 interfaces. This web services contain 5 interfaces. Lifecycle state management, not 5, it is 6, sorry, it is 6. Lifecycle state management, service groups, factory method, notification, handle map. I already explained about you in the last few seconds. What is the lifecycle? Manages grid service lifecycles. The term, for example, you registered for any cloud services in terms of a grid, they are going to give some type. Okay, they are going to give, for example, you can access for 24 hours. If you are able to pay a large amount of data, you can access for number of days based upon your required storage capability and their cost. Okay, even along with their amount of availability of storage also. State management, what is the present state they have to maintain by the grid, so that if there any problem is there, for example, I got some fault because of natural calamity, from that they have to restore all the data by going back. Service group, yes, service groups. So if you are able to group a lot of services at one place, the customer will feel happy and get the services at one time. Okay, factory, to create any new service of your own with the permitted, because these are all the open services, right? Open software, so anybody can do. Notification, alert system, and finally path finding of you. Okay, so architecture web service layer. I repeat. What are the interfaces in the web service layer is lifecycle, state management, service group, factory, notification, and handle. Just we gone through that with the help of OGSA. Right. What are the benefits of OGSA? Obviously have to provide in the grid services interoperability, increased computing capability, better speed for application development, better APIs we have to provide, user interface. Okay, so next, so we learn about what physical and logical layer and web services layer. Next, coming to OGSA architecture grid service layer. So which contain 3 layers, which is going to provide services in terms of 3 layers. Again, 3 services: core, program execution, and data services. These are all the main concepts. Security also will be here only. Execution environment and data availability or data storage. So see, so this is a pictorial representation of architecture for the grid services. See, this is the execution environment, this is the core services, and finally it is a data services. Okay, what are the core services? So what services we can define as a core? The service management, the service communication, policy services, and security. I repeat, so we learn about the security, we know. Here the core means main thing, how to manage your security, how to give policies to you so that you are not going to violate any policy, how to provide the communication to your services available in the OGSA, and finally how to manage the services. So these are all the main services for this. Next, program execution environment. So it gives a lot of environments for us, not on single environment based upon the language it's going to suffer along with the interfaces. So it can give a Unigrid system in high performance, computing, collaboration, parallelism along with virtualization of resource processing. Okay. Next, finally, grid data services in our OGS architecture. Support data virtualization means if you have very less amount of data with the virtual machines we are going to use, they are going to maintain the virtual hardware, means they are going to divide our hardware in terms of two parts. One is our main part and one more is a secondary part. It's going to provide mechanism for access to distributed resources such as databases and files. And finally, application layer, that is us where we can access your services in terms of different applications. It consists of applications that use a grid architecture services. Okay, nothing more. So in the next class we are going to learn about detailed view of OGSA and OGSA. So till then, have a nice day. Stay home, stay safe. Bye.